Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you for tuning into this video. A lot of people argue that gold has more potential to outshine and outperform silver, which is its little brother. A lot of people speculate that in the medium to long term, gold is where the money's going to be, since it's a monetary metal, and since silver is stuck to more of an industrial use, it could get hurt from the economy, or it could stay lower. Now, silver is more volatile than gold, meaning there's more opportunity there, so it really is, it depends upon each individual, it depends upon your stacking strategy, but this article is going to talk about why silver will prove to be a better investment than gold this summer. While silver is volatile and disliked by many traders, it also has the potential to outperform. Now, we saw the gold to silver ratio at all-time highs in mid-March, over 125 to 1, meaning it takes 125 ounces of silver to equal 1 ounce of gold, the highest in human history. In 5,000 years, we've never seen silver this cheap compared to gold, but the ratio is normalizing back down. Now, how much farther will silver outperform gold? That's what we need to speculate on. That's what we're going to talk about. So before we start, make sure to smash the like button. Let's see if this video can get 200 likes. Everyone go like the video right now. Let's jump into it. So silver staged a dramatic price breakout last week, advancing 7% while gold prices slipped 0.5%. This clinched a key breakout in the gold to silver ratio, which is down from March's all-time high of 125 ounces of silver to buy 1 ounce of gold to around 100. So the ratio dropped from 125 to 100. So silver did outperform gold 25 points. Such a blowout high in the gold to silver ratio was last reported in 1930, just before the Great Depression. Silver is used more as an industrial metal than gold, like I explained earlier in the video, and a low silver price is harbinger of tougher economic outlooks. However, the long-term average for this indicator is 55, leaving plenty of room for silver prices to move up further and almost double if they revert to this historic average. So if it does go back to this 55 to 1 level, silver could almost double or more than double its price. Silver is really on playing catch up with its big brother. Gold is up 36% year to date in comparison to silver at 18%. Precious metals entered a new bull market at the end of May in 2019 before anyone knew about this virus. Since then, gold's spectacular revival has taken it high of $1,780 an ounce, just $143 below its all-time high in October 2011, which also was where $50 silver was. So silver has lagged far behind at just over $17 an ounce today. It's way off of its 2011 high of $49. So the latest surge in precious metals prices has been fueled by the multi-trillion-dollar stimulus rollouts. France and Germany's championing of a $542 billion European Union recovery fund last week is the latest global initiative. Many investors think this public spending bonanza will provide inflationary and devalue global currencies against precious metals. Collapsing global interest rates also means the cost of storing precious metals is closer to holding cash. One scenario now popular with hedge fund managers is that the U.S. stock market is heading for a second down leg this autumn. They cite a toxic combination of poor second quarter profits, the prospect of a second wave of the virus, and ending of all hope for a V-shaped economic recovery. And that's definitely true. If we go into a depression, things are going to go worse, and if the second wave of the virus hits, that's going to backdrop everything, push everything to a grinding halt as we would try to build the economy back up. We don't know, we don't have a crystal ball, and that's where people have to speculate, right? If you're going to be investing, you have to be able to adjust and take everything with a grain of salt, because everything could change with the snap of a finger. Now, that still might allow for further upside to precious metals prices this summer before financial markets take a second rain check and head down again. Gold and silver would likely get dragged down by another big sell-off, as happened this March, with shares in mining companies suffering most. Nonetheless, if a vaccine is developed, which they're speculating could take a year or more, and there's only going to be a limited supply, and that limited supply is going to be extremely expensive, so if a vaccine is developed, gold and silver could rocket upwards as a hedge against roaring inflation courtesy of unnecessary stimulus packages and a rapid recovery in global demand amid supply disruptions. And there's definitely a lot of supply disruptions since imported exported goods are cut, since trading has been, down, since everyone's kind of cutting off their borders. Supply is definitely hurting, especially with precious metals, but only with everything. So, but it is a tough call whether to invest in silver right now, before a possible second downturn in financial markets, as silver is notoriously volatile and far less stable than gold. And that's true, silver is more volatile than gold. There's also more opportunity there as well, though. I try to look at things as the glass half full instead of half empty. Silver hits higher highs and lower lows. It's like gold on steroids. If gold's going to rise 10%, silver's going to be rising 15, 16%. On the other hand, though, as well, if gold's going to drop 10%, silver could be dropping 15, 16%. So it works for the better, but also when it goes negative, it also drops larger than gold does as well. So I definitely don't think it's a tough call whether to invest in silver right now, though. It's the cheapest it's ever been compared to gold. There's still a lot of potential for silver. It still could be seen as a monetary metal with its big brother as times become tougher and as people turn towards other alternatives besides the dollar, right? Stock markets are dropping off, so people need to put their money somewhere else. A lot of times people don't trust the government, which is pegged to the fiat currency, so they look for a more intrinsical metal or intrinsical asset, which is precious metals. First they find gold, and then they find out about how cheap silver is, and they look and they start investing into that as well. So you could also lose a higher percentage of your investment with silver than gold, as happened in the slump of the financial markets this March. In truth, silver is disliked by many traders for its false breakouts, and this could be another one. So, yet, if silver were to complete this catch-up with the present gold price, by restoring a more typical gold to silver ratio price, then it would be around $21 or $22 an ounce. And that's what people are speculating silver is going to be in the next 3 to 6 months. Next 3 to 6 months is going to be mid-$20 range. In the next 3 to 5 years, it could be $100+. This is a level many characteristics or chartists consider yet another key breakout signal. A shoot at the April 2011 high of $49 would then be credible or even beyond it. And that's true because, $49 silver happened in 2011. But times are much more severe right now. So if you want to talk about crazy prices, we're living in crazy times. Extreme prices, we're living in extreme times. And silver could hugely outperform gold as it did in the last 2009-2011 bull market top. Shares in silver mining and exploration companies leverage the advancing price of the metal as their operating costs remain largely static as the metal's value rises. Last week, on days when silver jumped 5%, shares in the popular SILJ Silver Juniors ETF were up twice as much. The momentum behind silver is currently strong, but traders advocate tight stops to avoid major losses from a possible stock market correction. That said, the long-term outlook for precious metals is excellent, as worries mount over the overvaluation of U.S. stock markets and the underestimated of the longer-term economic impact of the pandemic. And that's true. There's definitely, times are never going to be the same. There's never going to be a normal anymore. There's going to be a new normal. Markets are going to be affected forever. Precious metals, stock markets will never be the same. They're never going to recover. This is definitely a thing that's going to be changing in the history books, and people need to learn how to adjust to that. So Abu Mubadala last week said that global economies might not recover fully until the end of 2021. While the International Monetary Fund said it would be revising downwards its previous forecast of the worst downturn since the Great Depression. Professor Ken Rogoff, former IMF chief economist, said he would be surprised if the global economy could recover its prior position within 5 years. Some are speculating it could take longer than 5 years. Precious metals have always been a safe haven in troubled times. Prices tend to spike at the moment of greatest pessimism about inflation. Have we got there yet? Probably not even close. So I definitely think that this is just the beginning. We're just in the beginning, and things are going to look a lot more to the upside. A lot of people speculate, was at the top? Was, $18 silver the top? I definitely think that's the bottom. Prices are going to be building around that price at the bottom, and the top could be mid-20s in the next 3 to 6 months, and much higher in the next 3 to 5 years. So when are you planning on selling? that's going to determine on, how much this means to you. If you're not planning on selling for another 15, 20 years, then the day-to-day, the month-to-month prices are still irrelevant to some degree, right? I mean, I still check on them because it can influence, where I'm buying or where I want to get in as a buying price or as a starting place to find silver. But when it comes to selling, I'm not planning on selling for so long. It really is irrelevant. So anyways, I'm curious what you thought about this article. I definitely think silver has more potential than gold. So if you do enjoy precious metals, if you enjoyed this video, if you love precious metals, make sure to smash the like button. Let's see if this video can get 200 likes. The link to this article from thenational.ae will be in the description if you want to check it out yourself. There is a video that goes along with this as well, so you might want to check that out as well. But I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.